And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Solar Expanse. We did do a quick load over the break here. So once we unpause, we should see some construction occurring. There we go. That fixed the bug on Mars orbit. Yeah, right now we got returning transports from colonization efforts, and I've got 3 more to go out. Mercury orbit to Mars, so the fourth one has arrived. And one more trip, and we'll have enough radiation prevention for Mars. Oh, I already planned the return trip. Convenient. So, just waiting for hydrogen. Pile up enough at Mercury. The next delivery from the gas giants should be enough. New system being discovered. Jupiter orbit arrived at Luna, which was my helium-3 run arriving. I suppose we should make a run for Saturn as well. I only need 2 to go to Saturn to get everything, but 2 of you go to Saturn. Luna to Saturn. That would be Luna orbit to Saturn. 2 of you. And I suppose I might be able to plan the return trip. So Saturn to the moon. The rains that are inbound. And the helium. Correct. Optimal transit for the return. We're not getting a slingshot orbit here, which is fine. Do the return trip. Okay. And then the other 3, what do I want them to go do? Do I go grab polymers? Do a polymer run to Ganymede? Yeah, let's go do a polymer run to Ganymede. And then we want that to do a return trip. To the moon. Oh, I need them to arrive because it's complaining at me. Launch field cannot lift this payload. The launch field can totally lift that payload. We'll wait until you get there. Okay. Yeah, and I think we're waiting for Alloy here to build an engine. 2.6K. Could technically haul that in from Mars. Sure. Ship that in from Mars. Get the next engine under construction. Next optimal window. Okay, so Earth, we have ship ready for outbound. Do a quick... Well, no, if I did the return trip, then I've already sorted the launch. Okay, so Earth to... This would be the outer belt. Did I do Thule? Has Thule been done? Thule has not been done. So it's Themis, Freya, and... Yeah. So Thule's next. Thule is next. Earth the Thule. On the rain that just arrived. Add a construction module, add crew compartments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add mining module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add hab and a radioisotope generator and a probe. Add resources. Good question. Does Earth have the resources I want? It has the alloys. So 100 alloys. 10 electronics. 10 glass. 10 rares. $90 metals. And 110 food. And 100 hydrogen. Ride the Territorn. Okay, off you go. Mars orbit to Mercury. Okay, so Mercury is awaiting a refueling, and then we'll get the last of that alloy transferred. Could expand glass production on Mercury. Shouldn't be a terrible plan. If I'm building one solar mirror, build cycle for the solar mirrors, how many do I need? Or orbital mirrors? Or how many tons of this do I need? So 2, 4, 3, and I'm going to assume it's 0, 0 after that. Divided by 1,200 days. So I need 20 and a quarter tons of glass being produced. So I do need quite a bit of glass production. We're making 3 in Mercury alone. Let's get another 40 going and see how close we get. I get this. Proved reusable rocket, so... Oh, actually, no. The next one is the last tech that's going to be useful until we do everything, basically. I suppose technically the next useful one is interstellar travel, but it's pretty much everything at that point. Okay, so I've dropped what rares we can at Mars. Still get the couple of facilities working again. You are off to Lutetia again. To grab more rares if more are available. Glass kilns being produced on Mercury. Luna to Lutetia. I think you're going to do a metal run to the moon. Yeah, metal run to the moon. And I need to remind you on the return trip, you should probably take water back, because otherwise we're going to run out of water here. Yeah, metal run to the moon. That's Earth, not the moon. Themis arrived at Earth, so we can have the next outbound. Earth to... So we just did Thule, so Hadia is next. Add a construction module. Add crew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Mining module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and mobile hab, radioisotope generator, probe, add resources, alloys, 100 if we got them, electronics, 10, glass, 10, rares, once again, 10, metal, 90, not 900, 90, and supplies, 110, and hydrogen, 100. Ride the magpie because it's ready. The tetraton isn't quite ready yet. Optimal transfer. There you go. Should be good enough. Just remembered I should check up on Earth orbit, make sure we're not blowing through the food up there too quickly. 18 years is probably long enough. Freya has returned to Earth. Okay. Once again, we have another outbound. Oh, this will be the last outbound. Debushin. At least of this current patch. Oh no, not Hedea. Not Hedea. Earth. Earth. There we go. Add module. Construction module. Add module. Crew compartments. All the remaining crew compartments. So yeah, going forward, I'll have to build more crew compartments, which is one argument for not doing more. If anything, it's more of an argument for it's time to move some of the old ones. Mobile hab. Radioisotope generator. Probe. Add resource. Alloys. 100. Electronics 10. Glass 10. Rares 10. Metal 90. Supplies 110. Hydrogen 100. Tetratorn will be ready for this one. Optimal window. Something like that. There we go. Last kiln done on Mercury. Another batch in the current wave. Devotion's out. Okay, so I can do another 10 before I have to do more silicon mining, and then we'll have to do more silicon mining if I want more glass production. And then behind that, let's get a magnetosphere generator going for Mars, or for Mercury. We're about halfway there. And then Mercury orbit has not yet received more hydrogen. Letitia arrived at Luna. That was a metal run. Got 24 years before the metal runs out, so we're definitely not, or for the rare metal runs out. Not a complete rush for that. The metal's actually doing pretty good at 107. Yep, let's get you back to Letitia. Continue the hauling. Yeah, basically consuming silicon at the same rate we're making it, which works out for the moment. Mars arrived at Luna. So that was my metal run, I think. The alloy run just arrived. So I can go ahead and get another asteroid engine into construction. To build the next one, I am short polymers and metal. Polymers and alloy. Probably the best place to get those from right now is actually Mars. We probably want you to just go right back to Mars. Yep, off you go. Earth to Thule has completed. First of this batch. And outpost. Hydroponics farm. Research laboratory. And let's get the rain returning to Earth. Hydroponics done on Thule. One of our orbital generators completed on Mars. So Mars is now below 2 times Earth radiation strength, getting more and more habitable. Although that's probably reaching the point where that's less of the issue here, and more I need to get atmospheric pressure up and temperature up. Earth arrived at Hadia. So we got the standard triplet, outpost, hydroponic farm, and research laboratory. And then get the rain back to Earth. Titan orbit arrived at the moon. Oh, Titan orbit arrived at Mars. That was my nitrogen arrival. Okay, so you guys are going back to Titan. Continue retrieving nitrogen. Mars orbit to Titan orbit. Six years. So we can try to then plan Titan orbit back to Mars. Okay. And then Mars now has that nitrogen to release. So let's release that nitrogen. And the oxygen to go with it. Slowly and surely, we put more atmosphere on Mars. Schedule the mission outbound, okay. There's the Lutetia outbound. Earth arrived at Debushin. Okay, so queue up the 3 things. Outpost. Hydroponics farm. Research laboratory. And the rain. Back to Earth. The Luna orbit arrived at Ganymede and Lutetia. So, Lutetia is metal for the moment. Lutetia to moon. Ganymede is polymers to the moon. Okay, let's adjust this. Not to the moon. To Jupiter orbit, because we know there's fuel at Jupiter orbit. Yeah, I can do that. Ride the Pelican up. Yeah, we need more fuel here, apparently. That's easy enough to do in the short term. I can just have the Kronos deliver some fuel. Then we can go from Jupiter orbit to the moon. The Mun, or also known as Luna. There we go. Want that cargo to go to the next stop. And yeah, load up on fuel. Take the optimal transit, but load up on fuel, so you can take more fuel to the moon as well. There you go. And then the problem here with Luna is I'm going to need more alloys to build more engines. Because we're bringing in a truckload of polymers. The rares are coming along pretty well. We've brought in a lot of helium. We're probably still going to be a few engines short of moving the thing we've got the stuff at, but... And I think that's the one I still want to go for Dragon to Earth. Research laboratory completed. Okay. Oh, and we finished advanced payload fairing. So until we're done with the tech tree, that's probably the last useful tech besides interstellar travel. That was a fuel delivery shipment that just arrived. Okay. Reminds me, did we get a fuel delivery shipment yet at Mercury? We did. So this can get delivered to the Mars. Mercury to the Mars. All the Uranes. Do a transit trip. Jupiter orbit of Mercury. Is that Mercury return trip that's probably being the issue because I just eat the fuel? Or that there not enough hydrogen? Can't be enough hydrogen in Jupiter. It's got to be the Mercury end that I screwed up. Luna orbit arrived at the moon. All thrusters is done. So first of the 3 electrical drives that if we were doing an electrical run would be very, very useful, but because we're not, are kind of useless. And in 3 years, we'll have these all done. 2 years after that, we'll have the Athena, which we won't build until we're done with everything, but then we can see what that looks like flying around. Okay, so I got a rain and Earth orbit. Mars, you've arrived. Can I have you drag alloys to the moon? There we go. And then the Chronos. You're probably gonna need a little bit more water. Yeah, you wanna double your existing water. And you have enough carbon for what's left in the deposit, which is why we brought the Cronus into the system. The Cronus is gonna help clean these places up. Because obviously part of the cleanup procedure is gonna be pulling the pelicans out. Which is gonna end all launches in the system. Okay, you got enough water that you'll be good and after the silicon runs out, or until the silicon runs out. Same here. And then Mars is making its own carbon out of the CO2. There's maybe an argument that I should set up a carbon mine, but I don't know if I should do that. Mercury orbit to Mars. So that be the last mirror. Or the last mesosphere generator. So with that, we will get all of the radiation to go away. So now it's boosting glass and other stuff up to do solar mirrors, or alloys up to do shielding. Next shielding target is probably going to be the moon. Okay, let's get these arrays back to Mercury. Jupiter orbit arrived at Luna. Ah, that was the polymers. The polymers have revived. So now I am really waiting on alloys, which for the moment have got to come from either Mars or Mercury. Okay, send 2 of these to Mars. Send the other 2... Oh, I need to drag some fuel to... Oh, I have my Lutetia missions. One of these is the Lutetia one, I suspect. Yeah, we're out of water in Lutetia, so the hydroponics have shut down. We've got 3,000 years of food there, so I maybe don't need to worry about bringing more supplies to Lutetia, but more water to Lutetia, but I will. So I'll have one of you go to Lutetia. And I would like you to bring water. And then the other one goes to Mercury. And yeah, the next lift from Mercury should probably be the glass. So I get another mirror at Venus. Because I need 24.3 thousand glass, and I need a polymer delivery and an alloy delivery. Oh, the polymer and the alloy can probably come from Mars pretty easy. So I send one from Mars, send the glass from Mercury. So when those guys get back, we'll have them take a trip to Venus. And that is them arriving. Okay. Take this glass to Venus orbit, please. NPD complete. So one more electric drive tech to go. Okay, so Venus is just missing the polymers and the alloy. Which if I had a ship at Mars, I could launch from Mars right now, but I don't. Can I get these 9 ships? No, because I didn't bring any fuel with me. Orbital magnetosphere generator completed at Mars. Radiation on Mars is only 24% higher than on Earth now. Okay. Venus arrived. I brought more fuel in so these ships can leave. Ten ships, please leave pretty much empty if you can. Luna orbit to Saturn. This is my... What? Luna orbit arrived at Saturn orbit, okay. Was I doing a bounce offer to something else? Oh, no, I already planned the return trip. Already planned the return trip, so it's already going back. Yeah, that makes sense. Venus orbit arrived at Mercury. Okay, Mars arrived at the Moon. We've got some alloys, which may mean I can build an engine. One more engine under construction. Okay, let's get you back to Mars. Your next target's actually probably going to be Venus. Luna orbit arrived at Mars. Okay. So, for the Venetian mirror to warm up Mars, I need 1.8 kilotons of polymer and 900 alloy. Yeah, we'll have to do this, so I can bring 2 batches worth. So it's mostly going to be the glass at this point required to get the next one going, which probably won't actually point at Mars. We'll see. Or maybe I will point it at Mars and see where that puts us. Okay, Territorn's launched. I guess I don't have enough hydrogen at Mercury, so we've got one of the ones stocked for the return trip. Luna to Lutetia. And optimized cell field is done, yeah. And our water up here has arrived, so you've got 77 years of supply making there to go. Which isn't enough to get through the rare metals, but it's a start. And yeah, keep dragging more metal to the moon. Dish it to the moon. Rain, please bring it back. T-shirt arrived at Mars. Mars arrived at Venus. Okay, so let's get these guys going. Back to Mars. Venus to Mars. There we go. And then here we can get another solar mirror going. And the big thing we're waiting for the next one is the glass, which is actually only 13, 14K I need to bring in. That's not going to take too long to assemble. Could, for multiple different places, assemble it. But wait until we just have it all on Mercury. It's got half its irradiation dealt with. Probably time to do another pass of solar panels on Mercury. Do another 10 of those, followed up by another planetary shield generator. You know, can you make it to Jupiter with what we've got? Looks like it. That way we can get some hydrogen situated in Venus. We're going to do some pretty heavy falling into and out of Venus going forward. Way too hot. Atmosphere way too high. Although we've done a good job. I think it starts at like 100 atmosphere. So we've taken quite a bit off. That's the case. Twitch chat saying, "Where are the space waifu?" Well, the space astronauts are astronauts, so they may be waifus. They're definitely breeding. They're definitely increasing in quantity, which is not something you'd expect from an all-male crew, let's say. Suppose we can take a look at habitation. So I have the minimum requirements apparently. Well, I have the minimum requirements apparently for a city. Assumed city would have been outdoors. Proper gravity range, proper radiation range, proper atmospheric range. Okay. Habitats and domes. Okay. Whereas a dome habitat. Yeah, so city's bigger. It's definitely more efficient if you can get a city to work. I almost wonder why you wouldn't build a... Oh, well, because the city needs 200 power. That's probably why. Hoffman saying the bussy works in mysterious ways. I'm not going to confirm nor deny that. Do I have 200 power here? I do have 200 power here. So let's go ahead and let's build a city for Mars. So the Martians are no longer constrained in their population growth by habitation. If anything, that means I could then go around and start destroying the older habs. Because the habitats cost me... Well, cost me nothing. But they're definitely not very resource efficient, so I get a chunk of the resources back. Yeah, so we get a big chunk of resources back from swapping from habitats to city. So get a city cranked out. Saturn arrived at Luna. That's probably, yeah, more helium arriving. And what I needed to move Psyche, I need 27 asteroid engines. We've got one on it. We've got 2 on Mars. That means I need to build another 25. I've got the helium for another 20. Have these rains plus the ones we have on Mercury lift some alloy to the moon. City construction Mars. Athena research complete. Next up, the Condor. So yeah, with that city, I now have plenty of housing capacity. So the other types of housing modules can probably get disposed of. So I can regroup their stuff. Dispose of you. And we can dispose of the 93 habitats. So now I should only have 30k housing, but we've only got 1.7k, so that's plenty. One Martian city to house all the Martians. Venus arrived at Mars. Okay, so that's the return of my ship. You want to do a glass run down to Venus from Mars? Could definitely, yeah. Let's do that run. So 6k glass to Venus orbit. Okay, that launch is away. And then we're going to have the other rains move polymer and alloys to the moon. So 3,000 alloys, 1,000 helium. And the remaining cargo space of polymers, please. Quick double check to make sure that is to the moon. That is to the moon. Sometimes when I try to do that, I end up sending it to Earth instead. That's not where we want it. Orbital mirror at Mars. Or orbital magnetosphere generator at Mars. 2 to go. I might only need one of them, actually. I might have miscounted. I might only need one more. Yeah, it looks like I've miscounted. Okay, let's cancel this one before we spend the ally on a project we maybe don't need. Luna orbit arrived at Mercury. Definitely got a lot of lift capacity. The question is, what do I want lifted into where? That should be able to get me another mirror. Lutetia has arrived at Luna. Okay, so Lutetia is the Manual metal delivery. I didn't think you need the rare metals more than you need the metals, so let's still send you back to Letitia. Yeah, Luna to Letitia. Although, could I throw together a radioisotope generator real quick? That would give Letitia more power to mine with. Yeah, okay. So build a radioisotope generator first and go back to that. Mercury arrived at Venus. Mars orbit arrived at Titan orbit, so that's the... Oh, and I had that set up for a return trip already, so it's already outbound. Here we go, so there's our isotope generator on Luna. To Letitia, on the Urain. Helps if you load the module game. There you go. We're not taking much. Actually, because we're delayed because we loaded up, waited for the module. Let's go a little faster. Spend some fuel, go faster. Almost have enough, but I do not. It's 24.3, not 23.1. So you guys take the minimum trip down to Mercury. Okay, Letitia 1 arrived. So we now have 2 radioisotope generators here. So that doubled the power available. Why does it seem like I'm using like a third of the power the base should be running on? Another, the 10th of the power the base should be running on. We've got plenty of power here, is apparently what I'm saying. Yeah, I thought you were consuming like 15. Not, you consume 3. Okay, so you can go pretty ham on the power. So it's going to be the crew that's probably... Oh, no. Out of crew space. That's what happened. I'm out of crew space. I can feed a lot more crew, so I should probably just bring more crew to Letitia and mine more with that more crew. Fair enough. Rotating hab, rotating station. Well, I don't got the glass, so we're not doing the one that requires glass. So it's a hab. Rotating hab. That gives us 100 housing, so I can get another 100 people here. Let's have you take rares to the moon. That's the Earth, not the moon. Build the rest of the space with metal. Okay, so it's saving us. Do I want to save the trip time or do I want to save the fuel? I'd rather save the trip time. Oh, and I already had housing for... Okay, so I just need to bring like 200. 200 more people need to go to Letitia. That's easy enough to do. We'll have the group going from Letitia to the moon, pop over to Earth, grab 200 people from Earth's waiting room. We haven't been shipping the people from Earth's waiting room, so they're probably getting a little bored there. Elsewhere. Orbital mirror done at Venus. Currently have 1 pointed at Mars. Let's set it to 2. But first, let's take a look at Mars. Mars with 1 pointed at it is 35C. We up that to 2. Pause. Given enough time, Mars should warm up. Negative 14. We'll check back in a bit. Still negative 14. I definitely need the third mirror. Yeah, I think we need that third mirror. Which means I need to bring some more glass. Do I have the launch fuel at Mercury? What I want to do? Well, actually, I think I only need one arraign worth of glass at Venus for the moment. Mercury to Venus. One arraign. All the glass you can carry. Oops, I don't have enough power at Mars. Well, I don't have enough power in Mars orbit. So the solution to that is another receiver. So I'm going to launch some glass, and we've already got the alloys up there, arguably. Okay. And the next thing I need to build, if we think we're out of power, is that receiver. So we set the receiver up. Mercury to Venus. Venus. Orbit. Build. The third mirror. Okay. Now there is an argument to build a mirror in Mercury orbit, with the logic to that being that I can use that to test... Well, Mercury, short of the solar orbit, Mercury is the strongest of the mirror orbits. Just, I haven't been pointing it at the Venus because I've heard it's too strong for the Venus, let's say. Or not, having pointed at Mars because I've heard it's too strong for Mars. To be fair, 2 Venuses is almost right. You want to get a little over 0 here. Letitia arrived at Luna. One of these Luna ones wants to go to Earth. Orbit. And then Earth orbit wants to go to Letitia. Adding 200 people. You need to go a little faster than that. That'll work. Because we want them to get there before they starve. Okay, that's scheduled. Letitia orbit to Earth. Or Luna orbit to Earth is finished, so then that's very rapidly probably set out for Letitia. Research the Condor. Next up is aluminum ice rockets, which is a relatively fast tech. It's only like 4 months. Lower research modifiers. Last orbital magnetosphere generator at Mars is done. It's not running, comparatively speaking, because I don't think we have enough power. We're working on that. Also been a while since I've checked the power stats at do... Yeah, we're splitting the power 50-50 between Mars and Mars orbit, which is more than Mars orbit can receive, so we need the power sat. And the aluminum ice rocket is done. Next up is the modular one, which is only a little over a year. And yeah, we're rolling through the tech tree. This is everything left in the tech tree that we got queued up here. So, although soon we're gonna this is the theoretical fusion line. That's actually a lot of the expensive techs left, I suppose. Or at least solar isn't that bad. Solar sails aren't that bad. And then the fusion ships themselves. Earth orbit arrived at Lutetia. So Lutetia now has a bunch of people and is capable of feeding all of them. Okay, power and people. Now all we need to do is set about mining. What do I want the most? I probably want the rares the most extracted here. So let's expand the rare mine. I've only got one construction model, so that's 10 builds there. It's a good enough place to start. You're emptying 8. You're emptying 18. So yeah. Should go to Mars. Take the electronics along just so I'm not just out here at Lutetia. We'll get a whole bunch of random stuff when we get around to assembling the place anyway, but I think we'll take some metal along. I don't think Mars really needs it, but Lutetia, well, Lutetia might actually need it for expanding mining, but modular rockets done. Yeah, they haven't got to Titan yet. Titan orbit arrived at Mars. That would have been a nitrogen delivery, and it was. Okay, so I can basically release all this nitrogen. Oh no, don't release the rare metals. We're releasing oxygen. We still haven't got over 0.01. Oof. I definitely need more shipping capacity to get the nitrogen flowing faster. orbital mirror constructed at Venus. Anyway, we're up to -14. Let's point the third mirror. See if it gets us above 0. There we go. It got us above 0. Contract complete. With the temperature regulated, our capacities on Mars have expanded greatly. Required to unlock Mars atmosphere, required to unlock blue Mars, required to unlock deliver water to Mars. Although all those are required or shared with Mars early atmosphere, so the next thing it really wants me to do is it wants me to get more atmosphere on Mars. Lots more atmosphere on Mars. Okay, current habitability is at 60%, so that's significantly reducing the food requirements. So the Mars population, for at least a short period of time here, can grow unrestrained. So you, for some portion of the planet, should be melting. Might actually want you to get a little bit warmer. You're only at 2. I might actually be tempted to put another mirror point from Venus. Other than another one for Venus or a couple in Mars, I think is what we need to do here. Yeah, we're getting more and more become gas, which is also going to help with the atmospheric pressure. Oh, it was showing below 0.01. We're now showing at 0.01. So we're getting to that point. I think I'm just going to release all the oxygen here. It's going to screw up with trying to get the balance right, but I'm going to release all the oxygen all at once. So that's the atmospheric composition. Yeah, okay. So that's screwed up with the balance. We're trying to get the CO2 down. That's releasing it in sort of lockstep with the nitrogen. But now I've just shoved enough up there that we've got the balance right with the oxygen, with the carbon dioxide, I suppose. That got us up to 0.03. I need to get up to 0.1 for early atmosphere to complete. Yeah, that's a step in the right direction. That's also going to help regulate temperature, potentially bring up the pressure a little bit, or the temperature a little bit. Yeah, I definitely need more pulling of hydrogen to Mercury. I've got the stuff to launch, but I don't have the hydrogen to get it off of Mercury. Let's do a Mercury to Earth orbit. Because at this point, I weirdly have more hydrogen on Earth than I do on Mercury. Although apparently I have a lot in orbit right now. Yeah, orbit to Earth. Get those 5 flying. We'll get you both on... Oh, actually, no, I got a better idea. So they're just flying to Earth, because I've apparently got 20k in orbit right now. Planet's a cyclical mission. Actually, not to Earth. To Jupiter orbit. Pick up nothing from Mercury, but from Jupiter, add hydrogen. Okay, that should be those ships away. And they are. Now, going forward, if I'm going to start putting mirrors, orbital mirrors elsewhere, I need to start putting orbital power receivers and orbital sources of power up to support that. All right, we're getting 2.4K here, and I need 2.28. So as we add more generators, I'm going to have to point them more places. Well, to point them more places, I need to add more generators. Is a better way to describe that, I suppose. Oh, so lose the shielding on Mars, which is not what we want. Even as I want to add more shielding to the moon. So at Mercury, to build power satellites, what do I need? Power station. The glass and alloy. And I probably want to, like, double the power. No, 50% more the power. Yeah, 50% more the power. So I want, like, another 18 of these in orbit. Mercury orbit, orbital payload container. I wanted 18 times 108. So 1,944 glass. And then 18 times 27. 486 alloy. And it's in orbit. So let's get this under construction. Next, I then need to get stuff to where I want the power shipped, which in this case is the moon. The moon might actually have everything it needs to build them locally. Yeah, let's assume the moon has everything it needs to build it locally. Lunar orbit, orbital payload container. You want to build one orbital power receiver. And the power receivers are the cheap side, right? Because you don't necessarily need to build very many of them. They got rares in them, which is, I suppose, a more expensive component, but they don't require that many rares. Yeah, so that's an easy launch. And I need an orbital constructor here. Which I can do, I just have to send it from Earth. That's probably the way to do it. So we'll just build one on Earth using purchased resources. And go park that in Luna orbit. So we can get a power sat set up there. There we go. Completed the research for electromagnetic catapult. On to improved plasma containment. That's going to take 600 days to build. Which is fine because I got to build more in Mercury anyway. Oh, looking at the time, I should put a part break in. Money is looking good. Money is trending up. Plus, we're getting payouts from actually completing these quests here. Although at this point, for Earth... Oh, and I got the rains I need to send. Let's get these rains before I forget to Titan. So Mars to Titan. This is obviously to go grab more nitrogen. Keep needing more nitrogen. I'm probably gonna have to continue to expand once I get the comet engines going, or the once I get the asteroid engines going, we'll probably start constructing arrays in greater fashion. Or I'll swap over to Fusion, because we're rolling through the tech tree. We are rolling through the tech tree, although I've said I'm not going to do Fusion until we get to the end here, so we're probably not going to hit this stream, is when we're going to do the transition to Fusion, but we'll think about it. Well, we're thinking about it. But yeah, we're going to definitely need more ships to move more hydrogen or more nitrogen. I may even need to start mining more nitrogen if we get more ships. Easy. We got 90k in orbit there. We got 35k on the planet. The atmosphere here has got a long time before it shrinks to an unusable degree. Well, the atmospheric pressure on Titan is getting about right. So there's maybe an argument that if I want to terraform Titan, I need to actually stop pulling nitrogen off of it. But I'm prioritizing the inner system, so Mars and the Moon are going to get prioritized over Titan. Titan is close enough to Saturn, and if I just need to set up enough... Just need to drink the gas giant for Titan to be fixed. And maybe that's actually what I should be focusing on soon, is expanding gas production up here, so we can start pulling more and more nitrogen off of... Well, in this case, probably Jupiter makes the most sense. Pull more nitrogen off of Jupiter. Because we've already got alloy in system, got power, got the crew. I'll think about it while we're taking the tea break, or taking a quick break here. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. I let this part go a little bit long. And then yeah, if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We're gonna take a short break here, so you can get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea. Until the next time, I'm gonna wish you all the best of luck and a good time. And bye for now.